So the Sky won, but look, one of the biggest stories to come out of this game is you're playing one of the considered to be top 4 teams in the league, the Minnesota Lynx, and nobody showed up to watch this game.
Angel Reese just got hit with the kind of reality check that could shatter a phone screen. Turns out her WNBA preseason debut attracted fewer eyeballs than rerun of a backyard chess tournament on public access TV. And let's just say, she didn't exactly take it like a champ.
I thought Angel Reese was the star of stars, the icon of icons. That's what the mainstream media keeps telling me. Headline at Forbes from last month. How Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson are leading the WNBA.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, she's out here breaking TV ratings like they owe her money, getting compared to Taylor Swift or Beyonce, except she has a jump shot from the logo. Reese's ratings, on the other hand, had all the visibility of a ninja in a blackout. So what happened? How did the self-proclaimed it girl of women's basketball turn invisible overnight? This isn't just a slip. It's a nosedive so public, it's trending in real time. If you're riding with Caitlin, comment baby goat over baby giraffe down below. Let's go.
Again, 5 million Instagram followers do not equate to basketball fans. It's a totally different group of people. You've got a basketball player, you got a celebrity that, or somebody that thinks she's a celebrity, that happens to be a basketball player. All right, but she's not celebrity enough to actually pack in the stands. And guys, there is some ugly numbers here.
Angel Reese marched into the WNBA like she was headlining Coachella. Confidence sky high, aura turned all the way up. But what she got was more open mic night at the abandoned bowling alley energy. The audience, crickets and tumbleweeds, national TV viewers, they were somewhere else entirely, probably watching reruns of Storage Wars. What should have been her big splash turned into a tiny ripple, barely noticed.
Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar. Oh my God, transcendent. Oh my goodness, generational. Oh my goodness, so on and so forth. You guys do all the talking, all the yapping. Twitter fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers.
Let's rewind to the preseason kickoff, where the Chicago Sky squared off against Brazil's national team at LSU, Angel's supposed home turf. With the blend of Brazilian flair and a college crowd that once crowned their self-proclaimed queen, expectations were sky high. But the result? Crickets. Literal crickets may have outnumbered the viewers. TV ratings were so low, even snail mail moved faster. If a DVD logo bouncing on a screen had replaced the game feed, it might have pulled in more engagement. That's how non-existent the buzz was.
There's a bigger story. 305,000 viewers for the Sky game against the Brazil national team. 305,000 viewers. By the way, Ion is a free over-the-air antenna station. If you've got an antenna, you can watch Ion Network.
Then came Game 2, Sky versus Lynx, Reese's supposed bounce-back performance. Spoiler alert, it flopped harder than a discount inflatable pool. She showed up expecting pyro and applause, but all she got were a few pigeons doing lazy flyovers and a part-time blogger at Wendy's live tweeting between spicy nugget orders. The energy was so dry, even the scoreboard looked like it wanted to go home early. It was less can't-miss sports moment and more accidental background noise during laundry day.
By the way, this arena holds roughly 10,000 fans, okay? It was at the Wintrust. You see that right there. 4,688 fans showed up to a game that Angel Reese is playing in.
At one point, the cameras caught the stands, and it looked like a post-apocalyptic ghost town. Rows of empty seats echoed a haunting silence, like everyone had RSVP'd no to Angel's coming out party. Somewhere deep in the bowels of a TV studio, A network exec stared at those grim Nielsen numbers and questioned their life choices. And Reese? Oh, she didn't just brush it off. Nope. She erupted, not like an athlete fueled by the haters, but like a Real Housewives reunion chair-throwing meltdown. She took to social media with cryptic posts, passive-aggressive emojis, and enough dramatic flair to get her a guest spot on Bravo. Subtle? It was not.
Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for elevating the WNBA dump. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for taking the dump and turning it into an unmonetizable turd. Now, to her credit, it is a nicely polished turd. It almost looks appealing. Almost. Of course, it's still not appealing enough to generate profit.
Her PR team must have been sweating buckets, scrolling Twitter, praying for traction. But the digital streets were silent. Headlines? Non-existent. Engagement? Flatter than a soda left open overnight. Because in 2025, it's not just about performance. It's about whether your game can be chopped into viral content. And Reese? Oh, the content became viral, all right, for all the wrong reasons.
Angel Reese, preseason basketball, let's get it. Bang! How about a little less time at the Met Gala and more time in the layup line? How about it? Bang! More time at the free throw line. How about that? Bang! I heard the Chicago Sky are running a play called Giraffe. It's where they just give it to Angel Reese and she just goes ISO. Hey, someone get the zookeeper. This one's escaping.
Meanwhile, in a different reality, one where sports actually matter, Caitlin Clark was setting fire to every expectation the WNBA has ever seen. While Angel was shooting layups to empty bleachers, Clark was bringing a full arena to its feet. Her preseason exhibition against Brazil? Record-breaking. Like history books level buzz. Moms, dads, barbershop patrons, little kids, random dudes who haven't watched a women's game since Lisa Leslie's dunk, all watching. Clark made the game an event, a thing. The kind of moment that even folks who don't know a pick and roll from a dinner roll felt compelled to see.
There was no argument to be made. We heard it from Chinea Nwumike as well. We've heard it from a lot of people. Like, there's no argument to be made that there is a needle. There is a needle.
Clark didn't just play, she performed. She was out there slinging assists, drilling deep threes, and reminding the WNBA that she isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her game wasn't just dominant, it was cinematic. Every step, every bucket, every glare had the polish of a Netflix sports documentary. While Reese was stuck hoping someone would notice her hustle, Clark was hijacking the entire conversation, drawing every camera, every headline, every eye. It was a contrast so stark, it felt scripted. While Reese was still trying to figure out how to stop her sneakers from squeaking too loud in a half-empty gym, Clark was metaphorically dunking on the sun. Reese's "look at me" moment had been swallowed by Clark's takeover of the entire basketball universe. Reese's trash talk, muted. Clark's game, volume all the way up. One was begging for attention, the other couldn't avoid it if she tried.
Y'all talk a real big game. Y'all talk a real big game. Y'all tell us just how amazing Angel Reese is. Y'all tell us how y'all ride or die with Angel Reese. And you know what? This ain't on Angel Reese. This isn't even about Angel Reese. It's about y'all.
Clark's every move had ESPN on red alert, ready to cut to her highlight reel like they were covering breaking news. Reese's fans, ever loyal, tried to spin it. It's the network's fault. The tip-off time was bad. The lighting in the arena was off. But none of that explains the obvious. The buzz just wasn't there. The excitement wasn't missing because of bad promotion. It was missing because no one was clamoring for what Angel was selling. That's not shade, that's fact.
Ouch. Chicago Sky with their second straight home game where the arena is not even half full. It was a great game. HVL did great. Come on, Chicago. Some tickets were only $3. There is no comparison. There is no excuses anymore for a certain side of the fan base. Y'all are a vocal minority, and there's now statistical data that is flat proving it.
What Caitlin Clark has ignited isn't just a fan base. It's a cultural phenomenon. She's made every game feel urgent, every moment must watch, every stat line a conversation. And Reese? Well, she's still trying to figure out where the crowd went. Fame is fickle, and in the age of viral culture, you can either spark the moment or get lost in the noise.
ESPN featured Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Felines against the best AAU team from Brazil. The Roo from Waterloo drew 1.3 million viewers, which was a 13% increase over the WNBA's regular season average on ESPN last year. Viewership also exceeded ratings for Game 1 of the WNBA Finals.
Let's just get this out of the way. Caitlin Clark's exhibition warm-up game pulled 1.3 million viewers like it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's WNBA preseason debut couldn't outdraw a live stream of watching paint dry. It's past irony now. It's bordering on tragic comedy. Somewhere, minor league curling executives are flexing harder numbers than Angel Reese.
Hey, WNBA refs call it travel is the day we're watching because of you. Is this not a travel? You jump off your pivot foot, land on it again, and spin a roo? Blind squirrel finds nut. Bang! Oh, we've been waiting all offseason for the bag work. Here we go. Give it to Angel Reese at the elbow. Jab, jab. Yeah! Jab again. Here we go. Butter pecan. Bang! Had to blur out the unethical stat pad.
The funniest part? Reese moves through media like she's starring in her own sports biopic that skipped the green light and went straight to DVD. She's got the walk, the talk, the made-for-TV energy, but when it's game time, it's all sound check and no audience. She's entering arenas like she's stepping onto the Met Gala red carpet, but nobody's there to clap. If you're serving high drama to an empty house, it's not a blockbuster. It's a sad karaoke night where the mic squeals louder than the crowd.
So there's no excuse. Nobody watched that game between the Sky at LSU for Angel Reese's homecoming. Nobody watched. Nobody watched. Nobody was there. Half the arena was empty.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark could host a shoot-around in a farmhouse barn with one hoop and a loose chicken, and the entire state would show up. She doesn't just command attention, she transforms every floor she touches into a stage. It's not just ratings, it's resonance. She's giving the WNBA its cultural moment. Reese, on the other hand, seems to be shouting for attention across an empty gym while the crowd is at Clark's show down the street.
1 million less fans tuned in for that game versus the Fever against the Brazilian national team in Iowa City. 1 million. That argument of they're tuning in for me too is over. No, they are not. Nobody is showing up and nobody is tuning in.
And how did Reese respond to this ratings nosedive? Reflection? Course correction? Nope. She whipped out the Blame Anything But Me tour. Blamed the scheduling. Blamed the broadcast setup. Might have even blamed the moon phases. It was classic deflection, a defensive scramble dressed up like strategic critique. It's like throwing a party, forgetting to invite anyone, and then blaming the weather for the low turnout.
An Angel Reese play basketball in transition is like giving a 5-year-old the keys to the school bus. Sure, go ahead, crash into those trees right there. Bang! She's a stretch 4, that means you're not scoring anymore. Let's see it work. Back it down, the big man game. Kick it out, spread it out. Burn!
She doubled down on the noise, spinning critiques into conspiracies, acting like she's being personally sabotaged by fate and maybe Comcast. You get the feeling she thinks the spotlight is something owed to her, not something earned. There's no accountability, just theatrics. All show, zero growth. The illusion is wearing thin. And that illusion? It had an award show level rollout. Her preseason hype was loaded with teaser trailers, dramatic glamour shots, and enough social media buzz to make you think the next great era was here. But the result? Less Queen's Gambit, more straight-to-streaming Hallmark drama. If Angel's PR team had a hype meter, it blew out in the first 5 minutes, only for the actual game to register as background noise next to an aquarium livestream.
I don't care about them. But you want to know why people talk about it so damn much? People talk about it because y'all constantly want to remind everybody that folks are watching her games too. She is the one that said, people are watching the game because of me too. Well, That's not wholly accurate. It's just not accurate.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is over there sipping Gatorade while casually rewriting WNBA history like it's a to-do list. Her games aren't just games, they're events, packed houses, loud fans, social media lit up like Times Square. And Reese? She branded herself as Clark's rival, the counterweight to the movement. But when the curtain rose, she was barely a shadow on the stage. The story became one-sided fast. Caitlin Clark, star of the show, Angel Reese, understudy looking for lines.
Caitlin Clark is really back, and so is that CC motion. Look, I know I've said before I don't want to talk about repeats, and this topic isn't really brand new, but it feels fresh in a sense because we finally saw Caitlin Clark back out on the basketball floor, and we all had our reactions. I mean, she had that iconic moment, really, in a sense, for an exhibition, for a preseason moment.
Look, Reese has some talent. No one's denying it. But you can't TikTok your way into sports immortality. You need real numbers, real impact. Right now, her footprint is like a Snapchat story. It disappears fast. Even the WNBA probably saw those viewership stats and sighed. This was the moment. It's like launching a summer blockbuster that tanks so hard the popcorn walks out. Reese didn't fade out. She flamed out loud. She hyped herself as the queen, the draw, people watch for her too apparently, and showed up to an empty court and empty ratings. Every turnover, every brick, every half-empty arena now screams louder than any tweet. The media machine that elevated her is now looking for its next star, and Clark's already running the headlines.
After all of this statistical knowledge we all have now, the actual analytics, that is 2 arenas that had less than half capacity for what everybody keeps telling us is somebody that's star is equal to Caitlin Clark. Shut the bleep up. Come on. Stop it. 1 million less fans tuned in.
Caitlin Clark is doing what legends do. She's winning games, pulling audiences, and doing it all without theatrics. No meltdowns, no drama, just excellence. Her social media presence is an afterthought. Her game is the story. And Reese? She's learning that being a brand isn't enough if the substance doesn't match. Hype fades, stats stay. Angel Reese will be known as the only player whose influencer persona eclipsed her actual performance. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is proving what true stars look like. Not just in the box score, but in the spotlight. And that's the difference between trying to be a brand and being the game. If you're riding with Caitlin, comment baby goat over baby giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.